Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Masters of the Universe Classics Multi-Bot. That's right, it is the robot version of Modulock, or the robot invented by Modulock. But basically what we've got here is another incredible mix and match figure that comes straight out of the vintage toy line and into classics. Now, I know I'm a little late on this one, but I still wanted to take a look at it, so let's jump right in and do it. Now, as you can see, just like we saw with Modulock, Multi-Bot comes in very cool, fully enclosed box packaging, just like the vintage action figure. And just like that vintage figure, we've got some really sweet artwork right there on the front, depicting Multi-Bot and all of the different ways that you can possibly put this guy together. There's a ton of different combinations, and we'll talk about that more as we open them up. If you rotate that around to the back side of the box, we get a look at several other figures in the Classics line, and we're given a brand new bio for Multi-Bot. Now, when you open up the box, we've got this really great tray, and I love this because, as you can see, the way that this figure comes apart and with all the pieces there, we can actually build two standalone robots. Plus, we have additional pieces with that. So, let's get this guy completely removed from the tray, and that way we can take a closer look at him. So yeah, this is pretty sweet. Being able to display this guy as two separate standalone robots is a really nice touch because that's something we couldn't do with Modulock. So there's some extra pieces in here that allow us to do this. So we'll go ahead and start by taking a look at the designs here, articulation. We're going to talk about all those mix and match pieces. So we've got two unique heads here, of course. We've got the more robotic orange head, and we've got the head that looks a little more humanoid with the green skin and the black helmet, those glowing red eyes. Again, they do a great job of looking just like that vintage action figure, but modernized for Masters of the Universe Classics. And these guys are very, very cool because just like Modulock, all of the pieces here are very unique. So this is another one of those figures that we always questioned if we'd actually get in Classics because Classics relies so heavily on reusing pieces. As you can see here, these guys have some very, very unique parts. Looking at them all the way from the legs up to the torsos, they got these great robotic bodies there that do a great job of looking like the designs from the old line, but brought into this more classic scale, which works out so very well. We can see the one guy's got the pincher arms there. We've also got the ones with the regular hands. And then the legs themselves are very cool as well because they've got a very blocky type robotic look. You can see there's one pair of feet that almost have like tank-like treads on them. Another pair of feet look like they have wheels on them. Of course, they're not real wheels or tank treads. They're all part of the sculpt, but still very cool designs. And I will say that the sculpt work is very nice and very intricate on these. You can see lots of wires and bits and bobs and all kinds of crazy things going on there that give them that whole robotic feel. Now, while the sculpts are really great on these, I do want to point out that the paint deco is a little lacking on these from what we are kind of used to in the Classics line. And it might be just because we got so many pieces in here, so everything was costed out. But the legs and the arms look very monochrome. There's a little, very subtle bit of metallic highlighting in the legs, but not much. For the most part, the legs look to all be very solid colored. So we just got this dark blue, we've got this greenish color, and then of course the third pair of legs are also kind of like a maroon-ish color. It would have been nice to see a little extra paint deco on these to really help bring out the sculpts a little bit more, but I do really like the bright colors that are used on this. He's very colorful, just like that vintage figure, so pretty cool there. Alright, well, we got two guys standing here, so let's talk articulation real quick, and then we're going to start taking this guy apart so you can see how he functions. But as you can imagine, all the articulation still functions just like a Classics figure. It's just that all of these pieces have the ability to remove. So you can see we've got a great ball joint at the top of the neck as well as at the bottom of the neck. So that's actually a little bit of extra articulation, which is pretty nice there. We've got the ball joints at the shoulders, which you can see it was pretty easy to pop that out of socket there. But we still got those nice ball-like hinge joints at the shoulders, so the arms can go outwards, forwards, and backwards. Swivel at the bicep. We do got the standard joints at the elbow as well as a swivel at the elbow, and then standard joints at the wrist. We can rotate the waist side to side. It's a little loose, I will note, but I think it's because of the removable feature there. We got the ball joints at the legs, so legs can go outwards, forwards, backwards. We've got a standard joint at the knee there. and then we've got ankle joints, so the feet can move forwards and backwards. So pretty great range of motion. Some places we actually have more articulation than we would get on a standard figure, and again, that's a benefit of having those removable joints. So you'll be able to pose these guys around, but this is where things get really fun, the mix and match feature. So let me show you guys how to detach these guys first of all. It's all just ball socket joints. So you can see we could pop the head off. In addition to that, we can pop the neck off. The neck pops right out of the torso. We can pull the arms out at the shoulders there, so you can detach the entire arms, just like that. Here's something that we couldn't do with Modulock, which is nice. You can detach the torso from the pelvis, and then we can detach the legs at the thighs. So this works that exact same way for both of our individual robots in here. And this is where things get really fun, because we've got all these extra pieces. So you can see we've got lots of extra little joints. These little pieces here are meant so that we can attach 2 limbs or 2 heads or anything like that. So this is great for doubling up legs or arms or heads. We've got an extra neck joint that is done in black. You might have noticed that we've got the orange one as well. So we have 2 black neck joints and 2 orange neck joints. We've got some extender pieces to make some of the parts longer if we need to. And of course, we've got the one accessory being the dual lasers, just like with Modulock, which has the ability to combine together to make kind of like one big rifle. So this is where things get fun. This is where we can start mixing and matching pieces. So let me just show you guys a quick build. We'll go ahead and assemble this guy together in 2 different places here. So let's start here. Let's say we want to take the arms out. Maybe we want to double up the arms, huh? Does that sound fun? So we'll take these multi pieces here. We can plug these into the arm sockets just like so. And then we can take the arms just like this, and we're going to go and just mix and match this up here. We're going to add 4 arms to this guy. Now, the first time that you put all these pieces in, you might notice that you have to do a little bit of work to kind of work that joint loose to get the ball socket in there. But once it's in, it actually holds pretty tight, and it actually does kind of loosen it up a little bit so that it's easier on the next go around. But so far, I haven't noticed anything being too loose, so everything's holding in place just fine. So look, we can do the same thing with the head here. Look at this. We can put that double joint there in the neck, and then if we want to add like, let's see, we'll add a black neck joint. That, and then we'll go ahead and add the orange one as well, just to kind of, mix it up a little bit, keep it fun there. And then we can add 1 head, and we can add 2 heads. Let's check that out. So now we've got this crazy 4-armed 2-headed monster, but this is where it even gets more fun, because we can even extend the back legs. So we got the extra pair of legs here, and again, those can detach from that little piece. But we can attach those to the middle there, just like that. So now we got like this middle pair of legs, like so. And then we'll take these back legs. Once again, we got to attach. There we go. Pop these into place. There we go. And then we'll just add this to the back. Check that out. Very, very simple. You can see it's actually a lot of fun. You can create some really, really crazy guys. And look at this. Now I've got this like 4-armed, 6-legged, crazy robot here, which just looks, this is just a lot of fun. It's very easy to build this guy up. You can swap parts very easily, and there's so many different combinations. I mean, the box says that there's 1,001 ways that you can rearrange Multi-Bot into different characters. And I'm sure there's some people out there that are just way more creative than I am with these mix and match figures that can come up with some really unique and really wacky builds. But there's a lot of fun things you can do. I mean, you can always, do 2 torsos. You can have them on either end there. However you want to do it, there's lots of fun ways that you can mix and match this guy and just make some really fun builds with him. And this is where things get even more intense. If you've got Modulock, all of the pieces fit with the Modulock pieces, just like on the vintage toys. So now you can mix and match parts between Modulock and Multi-Bot to create the Mega Beast. The old box always talked about building the Mega Beast, which is basically just combining parts from both of these figures together. There's no one way to really build Mega Beast, I don't believe. You can just mix and match parts, but man, look at the crazy monstrosity that you can build by combining these together. It is so much fun. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here I've got my vintage multi-bot standing alongside the new Classics Multi-Bot. My legs are a little out of order from the way my vintage figure is, but you get the idea. Kinda neat looking at these two side by side and seeing just how much they look alike, but, you know, updated for the Classics line. I think it was done very, very well. So there you go, my friends. There is a look at the Masters of the Universe Classics Multi-Bot. My only one minor complaint, and I mean minor, is the fact that the paint deco isn't as nice as I would have liked to seen it on most of the figure. Otherwise, I think this guy's a total blast. It's a real cool fun factor with the mix and match parts, and it works so well. So being able to mix things up, combine them, even put them together with their Modulok to make all sorts of different monsters is seriously fun. And I'm so glad to see that particular action feature carried over into Masters of the Universe Classics, because both he and Modulok just would not be the same without them. So, as I said in the beginning, I'm late with this review, and this figure has already come and gone on MattyCollector.com. So if you want to pick this guy up, you're going to have to find him secondhand through an online toy shop or auction site. So, happy hunting, my friends. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, my friends.